All right, we're
You
streaming.
can do it.
We're streaming now.
Oh, hi everybody.
Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good time. Welcome back to the Three Galaxies. On our new night. We're going to start streaming this on Thursday nights because my schedule has changed a bit. Which means that, oh no, we're going to pull all those people away from Critical Role. I feel so bad for them.
Shit.
I'm sure they'll be fine. But yeah. So
the hell?
Oh, Reno. I don't know, Piph. I didn't think that far ahead. Anyway, so yes, we're going to be streaming on Thursday nights now for the foreseeable future, as my schedule has changed, and my players were very, very accommodating. So thank you guys for being cool like that.
No problem. Also, just to warn you, I'm probably going to sound really weird because I'm still very sick. Just saying. Yes.
Not feeling good. I completely get it. But when last we left, you guys had traveled to Zevran, ignored a salesman, a caller, I guess you could say.
Telemarketer.
The telemarketers are getting really pushy these days. They're actually approaching ships and just asking for them to speak to their bosses. So that's a cold call if I ever saw one. No, but someone who was somewhat suspicious attempted to make you talk to their boss. And I'm pretty sure you had a good idea of who it was and had no intention of speaking to them.
Go away, Dad.
I knew exactly who they were. Freaking telemarketers. Don't want to listen to them.
That's his new front, is telemarketers. Or that was what it's always been. He wasn't ever actually part of the Moffat. He was just always a telemarketer.
He was so embarrassed by it that he told you that he was a mobster.
Who the hell was I killing?
Cold cases.
It was the competition.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hey, he made sales of the month because of you.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
You guys got down to Zevran, met with Admiral Hagen for the first time in quite a while, and told him a lot of what was going on. Not everything, obviously. There are certain things you kept to yourselves. But he was as helpful as he could be in pointing you in the right direction for finding help trying to get Pa out of jail, as Hart seemed very distraught over it. She seemed to understand why the group was not going themselves, but she, on the other hand, couldn't do nothing. So you guys were pointed towards what Hagen thought was one of the only Corsair groups that were crazy enough to take the job. You met with their operator, a Ballard demon by the name of Winston. And that was certainly a conversation you all had. Oh, and some milk. You had some milk.
I had some milk.
Yeah, Lucas definitely had some milk. Winston accepted the job and promised to have his team carry out a rescue of Pa, and said that you have left it in good hands, as long as you don't mind some collateral damage, whatever that means. After which, you briefly met with Finmuki, had dinner. It was a lovely dinner, I think. Where Finmuki kind of gave you a rundown of what had been happening in the seedier side of Zevran of late, which is the fact that your father's enterprises, which is actually going under several names. There's a couple of names that you might know it by as well. Though I should point out, because I don't think I've ever pointed it out, the more public side of your father's business is called Nerve Enterprises.
Nerve Enterprises?
Nerve Enterprises.
Okay.
Though, and like I said, it should be fair. That's the new. Remember when you talked to Finmuki a while ago? She said that they had merged recently. That is the new conglomerate that has been created, Nerve Enterprises. Okay. But that there's been almost a well, some people called it a gang war in the streets, mostly Isaac's father. Finmuki dispelled us a little bit, saying, I don't know, a war seems a bit excessive, but there has been fighting with your friends and your dad, and things got pretty heated. But I mean, war, skirmishes maybe. Finmuki basically said that whatever's going on, she wishes you all the best, but she's staying out of it for obvious reasons. She cannot afford getting her syndicate involved in a powerful entity like your father. But that if there's anything she can do to help discreetly, let her know. She'll see what she can do. She likes you. And after that, you all went to go meet up with Tessa and Cyber 6, who had been sent to try and get to your father before Vector did, in hopes of perhaps maybe swaying him to your side, or at least, at the very least, keeping him neutral. Things didn't work out quite as well as hoped, as when Tessa saw that Anna's old friend. Are
we going to downplay it?
No. I just didn't know. I don't like to assume. Anna's old squeeze.
I mean, yeah, that's poorly.
Anna's old squeeze, Seth. Seth, is it Seth? Hang on.
Sam.
Okay.
Seth sounds like a name I would use, though.
I should have my notes up when I'm saying this. Sam was supposed to run away with Anna and Tessa, did not make the rendezvous, and was captured by your father and turned into a full conversion Borg. When Tessa saw what had become of him, she kind of lost her cool and shot your dad. So that's going to be fun at the next reunion. And this started the said gang skirmishes, as Cyber 6 and Tessa then started fighting for their lives, as, I don't know, shooting a crime boss is not the best move.
Even if they are your father?
Even if they are your father. They are currently hiding out in an abandoned apartment building where you met them, and Isaac's father came to greet you as well. I mean, if you call that a greeting. And you were all discussing what has happened so far. And when we ended the session, and we were picking up this session, you guys were about to lay down quite a few knowledge bombs, especially on Cyber 6 and Indigo, and possibly even Isaac's father, Adelum. So we're going to pick up the session right where we were. You're all basically in an abandoned apartment. Everyone's kind of sitting around. There's no real furniture, so everyone's either leaning up against walls or sitting down on the carpet. I remember Isaac's dad is leaning up against the door in a very, I'm sure he thinks stoic, but really it just kind of comes off as asshole-ish way.
Anna's not in the room either.
That's right. Anna has left the room because Indigo tried to do the whole "don't you dare blame yourself" thing. Didn't work very well. Anna left. And Tessa, I think, tried to go after Anna, but Anna did not want anyone around her at the moment.
She's crying.
Yeah. We don't know that. Allegedly. She is allegedly crying.
She was told not to cry, and she went, bitch, don't tell me what to do. It's no crying.
Basically. So, we will pick this up. Anna's not in the room. She's in another abandoned apartment, one would think. And you guys have the floor. You have some important information to tell Cyber 6 and Indigo, and maybe Adelum. I mean, it's hard to tell if he's going to care or not. I guess you'll just have to find out.
Okay.
I'm sure if anything, he'll pretend to at least not give a shit, because, it's...
I should also, because we were kind of loose with who's here. Who is all here? Is it just you four? And them, did you take any NPCs with you guys? Did you take Heart or Father Ratu or
Personally, we already established that Heart's back on the ship.
Right.
Because she didn't want to deal with any of this. I would want her and Cathor to continue working on the plans for the whatever plan Hadron Collider bullshit for the orbs. And
you mean the way of destroying the golden orb?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Making the orbs touch.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. That plan. And then
we're gonna dock the orbs.
Sorry. And then I would rather have Retu stay on the ship personally, so that just in case Miss Felina needs medical assistance, he can provide it.
Yes. Who is definitely on the ship because
she can't.
She's not running around her bed. This apartment complex is not even handicap accessible.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not sure what Sarah is doing. I can't remember what she's doing.
She would probably be on the ship. She's not really a someone that fancies herself in dangerous situations all the time.
Well, I thought she would either be on the ship or over at Zevran headquarters or HQ of Corsairs.
That's a fair point. Yeah, we didn't really go over that, but yeah, actually, if she's here, she would take the time to be looking up whatever she could over at the operators. In fact, you may have, I don't know, you may have passed her on your way out from meeting Winston.
That works.
But she'd probably be in that large, we were just talking about telemarketers, but that large operation center that you walk through.
Yeah, they basically are telemarketers.
Yeah.
For time and space.
So it's you four plus
Us
Tessa
four.
plus Cyber 6, Indigo, Theta, and your father.
Yes. I think that's who's there, unless anybody else that wants to be there. Is that good with you guys?
I want to be there.
Well, yeah, you're
that
here.
That wasn't an option. No.
No.
But Lucas is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to kind of put it in your court. I literally ended the session with you guys saying, so we have some news.
Yeah, we have some news. Lines. You might want to sit down.
Right.
First things first, Cyber 6, are you sure this place is abandoned? Is there anywhere nearby that anybody could listen in on the conversation?
And Cyber 6 kind of looks at you for a second. He goes, well, of course there could be. I mean, we didn't exactly choose this place because it was secure from bugging. We chose this place because we were being hunted. If you think we should go somewhere more secure, perhaps back on the ship?
I don't know. Maybe.
I can tell you I've done a sweep of the surrounding rooms and I'm fairly confident that there are no devices listening in.
Okay, and you didn't see any people, right?
No, absolutely not.
Then that's fine with me. Adelum, would you mind sitting down?
He'll raise an eyebrow at you. You remember my name?
Yes, I do. I have an entire dossier on you.
Ah. Right. Of course you would. And he looks like a little disappointed for a second, but then kind of sits down cross-legged and lays the sniper rifle over his lap.
Okay. And close the door if you can.
The door's already closed. Yeah.
Okay. Isaac's going to take out a little cube-like thing and place it on the floor. Press a button on its top, and it's going to emit a kind of low hum that's going to vary in pitch every once in a while. It's not going to be hard to talk over, but it's going to be hard for other people to listen in on. And that is the acoustic noise generator that we got forever ago that we never actually used.
Weeks and weeks and weeks ago.
No, literal years. Literal years ago.
Well, I mean, weeks and weeks can turn into years.
I guess. Um, and I guess unless anybody has any objections, let's explain what the situation is. And it's gonna be hard for me to personally explain because my throat is sore, but maybe we can skip over some things and go, hey, this is what happens, because everybody already knows the deal. Sorry, I should have muted.
Lucas made the Corsairs.
It was me.
Yeah.
You really need people to sit down for that one.
Going
I mean,
going into the details of this happened at this time, we have information from this ex-Corsair that Lucas is the one that is responsible. This is also backed up by psychic premonitions. And
So, would you go into the whole details of what happened at the assisted living home? What Vector told you? What his friend told you?
absolutely,
Okay,
I think.
you'd go into everything.
Mhm.
Indigo has a continuing mounting look of shock as you progress through your story. Cyber 6, well, his face doesn't show emotion very often, but he sits there motionless for the most part. Your father, Adelum, is unreal. You tell the story, you conclude, no one interrupts you at any point. And then when you finish, I assume there's probably about 10 to 20 seconds of silence.
Mhm.
And then finally Cyber 6 goes, okay. So, what are you thinking to do with this information?
Well, first things first, I'm not entirely comfortable with the thought of us causing the deaths of millions. I don't... Billions. Great. Fucking great.
Over 6 billion if the reports were accurate.
Yeah.
Cyber, you're not helping.
No, I think it's helping. It's very accurate. I didn't really know the numbers myself.
Yeah, neither did I. I was probably told, but I couldn't remember. So, billions, that's how much we're dealing with. And we're going to be responsible for those deaths. Great. I would like to avoid that, if at all possible, but still cause something that is a big enough thing to cause the Corsairs to still be formed. I want the end goal to be not changing as much, not changing that much, but still not killing that many people. And we have a potential solution that we're working on, that Cathor and Hart are working on back on the ship, and that is the idea of the Golden Orb. And we still want to get the fuck rid of that, and because it is a catastrophic world-ending thing by itself, if we could find an unpopulated world and find a duplicate of that artifact from a different timeline, maybe that'll be a big enough bang without killing people. That's where my thought is right now.
Cyber 6's eyes widen. You think you could find a duplicate of that item in 2 months?
Well, it's 2 months in... yeah. It's 2 months in previous time. We've traveled... We've traveled before to specific dates. Earlier than we really should have. I think we can do it one last time.
I suppose it's possible. And Indigo looks at Cyber. What? What are you saying? Cyber, that event, it's horrible, yes, but it made everything, all of this. And Cyber looks at Indigo. I became a Corsair to save lives. There's a chance here to save 6 billion.
Yeah.
And there's like an awkward silence as the two just stare at each other. And then very quietly, Indigo goes, but what about us? Don't you understand? If that doesn't happen, we never meet. And then the silence just stretches for a very long time.
Well, we can't say what's gonna happen for certain. As long as it's done correctly, we can and have changed things for the better already. As long as it's done correctly, and everything can still happen. We've already done this a few times now. Saved entire civilizations.
And Indigo like kind of whips around to Isaac. But as much as I hate to admit it, Vector has a point. The Corsairs have saved far more than 6 billion lives. And from across the room, for the first time, Adelum speaks up. That's flawed. It's not correct. No, it's correct that the Corsairs have saved more than 6 billion lives, but how many have we gotten killed? Exactly. Do you remember the whole war with the Splagorth? How many billions do you think died in that war? That was the Corsairs, sweetheart. Do you think we're really nothing but angels? I say fuck it. Just don't do it. Let the chips fall where they may. Run. You want my advice?
Kid's gonna point a finger at him and say, "You shut up." And they're going to turn back to everyone else and go, "We can still make something happen, something big enough for the Corsairs to get involved. We just need to figure out either an alternate way of doing that event, I guess, or we need to find a new event to create."
Mm-hmm.
Indigo stands up. But you can't be sure of that. You can't be sure that that would work. You can't. And then there's, for the first time ever, you hear Cyber 6 raise his voice. Indigo, do not let your feelings blind you from what you know is right. We are Corsairs. And Cyber 6 will stand up, and Indigo's looking very shocked, a little bit hurt. And Cyber 6 will look at Kid, and he'll say, I, for one, will do what I can to help. I want nothing more than the Corsairs for my life to take the course it has. But I will not do it at the cost of lives that I can save.
Kid looks at everyone else and goes, "So then, I guess it's a matter of figuring out our next step."
Yeah. We also need to eventually deal with this Vector guy.
Oh yeah, no, he dies.
Oh yeah.
Actually, Cyber says, it might be better to deal with him first.
Oh,
After all, if we're trying to put together something as complicated as you're suggesting, it'd be a whole lot easier to do it if we don't have to worry about Vector behind us.
that is
That's
true.
fair.
You want my advice? Set up a meeting. Hell, you both want the same thing.
So what? Make a
Yeah.
trap?
No, kid, for once, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm suggesting you try and talk some sense into him, negotiate. I don't like Vector, and quite honestly, all things considered, I'd love to put a shotgun slug in his head. But if trying to kill Vector distracts us from what's important, then maybe we should look for another way.
I mean, did you just completely breeze over the whole shot cannons into a house full of helpless people?
Cyber 6 shakes his head. No, I didn't.
How are we supposed to negotiate with that?
I don't know, actually. I don't. Maybe you can't talk sense into him. Maybe he's insane. But at the end of the day, like I said, you both want the same outcome, just in different ways. Maybe there's common ground there. Look, and he raises hands. What does it hurt to try? Not saying that we have to meet him in person. We could set up a hollow meeting or try. We sit wherever we want. He can sit wherever the hell he wants, and we talk to each other over our hologram.
Real quick, Squee, Gloop is still with us, right?
Yes, Gloop would be on the ship.
Okay. Did he say that he had any way to get in contact with Beatrix is her name, maybe?
No way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vector always contacted him.
Literally the only thing that we have, maybe, possibly, is that fucking door.
Theta goes,
Yeah.
well, there might
what?
be one way. That ship, when we arrived.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you all knew who that was, right? It was Anna's mother, who's working with Vector.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm not working with her.
Oh no, we're not working with her. No. But we could. She probably has a way to communicate with him. Although, to be honest, the idea of still working with him makes my skin crawl because he captured Paw, and I'm not entirely happy about that.
We have that covered. Hold on. We
I
will
know.
have it anyways.
I know. I'm still not happy about it.
I know.
At least not until he's back.
Indigo, for the first time, quietly says, Levine. What happened to Levine? We changed her timeline. What happened to her?
As far as I know, she disappeared.
You know? You know that's what happened.
I don't, personally. We left her back on Frontier, and we had a parting celebration for her, and we haven't fact-checked. Sorry.
She kind of nods to herself.
Real quick, Squee, didn't she seem like she was fading or something like that? Or she was just getting weaker?
No, she was becoming human, which was a far cry from what she used to be. The way it was left was very ambiguous. She did not know if she would disappear tomorrow, fade away gradually, or never fade away at all. She just didn't know. And since she didn't know, she decided to go live life as much as she could, as long as she could. But the truth is, even as a goddess, she had no clue what was going to happen to her.
Okay.
And Indigo kind of shakes her head and she goes, Fine. Fine. Cyber's right. You're right. You're all fucking right. But I disagree with Cyber. I say we kill the bastard and then we sort this out.
I'm personally fine with this.
Well, says Adelim, if you want to kill him, I'll tell you where he is, where they all...
Oh? You have
You
that
know
information?
where he is?
So does he, and your sister. I'm sorry, Anna's not there. And Tessa. We were standing on their doorstep when she shot your... And she looks at Kid. Shot her dad.
They are all
Which-
here in this time? They're all
Vector
here.
2.
Vector 2.
Cyber shrugs. Well, I mean, I can't confirm that, but I can tell you that Tessa's mother and father are here, and Vector certainly is somewhere in the future. It would... He looks at Adelim. It would stand to reason that if they're working together, yes, they'd all be holed up in the nerve building. But that's a fortress. The nerve building is in the commercial zone. It is a state-of-the-art building connected to every line of the city. If we just attack it, we'll have the CDF on our asses in minutes. And as he says that, Adelim pulls something from his trench coat. Not if we use these. And he rolls 4 what look like spikes across the carpet.
And what are the spikes for?
Cyber 6 is looking at them. Those are time spikes. Those are illegal. And Adelim raises an eyebrow. I'm a criminal. What do you think we do? Cyber 6 will look at you guys. Those are very dangerous devices that tap into the Eye of Zevran to transmit, or shall I say transport, an area contained within inside of those 4 spikes to another time and place.
Is it a place that we can choose, or is it just random?
It's unfortunately random, says Adelim, but if you're looking for a way to isolate something, that's a perfect way to do it.
Well, that's definitely interesting. I mean, we also have connections to those people. The CDF. I don't know if that would help as much as these would, but it's interesting. And sounds incredibly dangerous.
And Adelim shrugs. It's not that dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous for us a little bit. They're not the most stable things in the world, but if you're worried about collateral damage, it's fairly safe for anything outside the spikes.
I mean, I'd kind of like to live. I don't know about you guys, but I'd kind of like to live.
If you want to live, Adelim says, then attacking a building not connected to the city that has some of the most powerful defensive forces is a good idea. If you are truly intent on killing this man.
Fucking damn if you do, damned if you don't. Okay, well. Interesting talk.
Kid picks up one of the spikes, and they look incredibly thoughtful, and as they're kind of rolling the spike between their fingers, goes, If we're going to be attacking, then I need to get someone.
Oh, yeah. He could help us. He could help us a lot.
Indigo kind of looks up and she goes, "I'll be right back." And she walks out of the room. And she starts looking for Anna. Is Anna easy to find? Maybe by the noise?
She rude.
You think
She's
he's
like
a
one room over.
crier?
All right. Yeah, I'd say it takes a couple of seconds, and Indigo would find Anna. What state is Anna in?
Anna, when Indigo walks in, Anna will probably be like sitting on the floor against the wall, and she'd just be quickly wiping at her face and trying to hide emotions.
Indigo would come in and close the door, and she'd say, they're deciding some pretty important stuff in there. I thought you might want to be...
Yeah, I should be there. Mm-hmm.
Right. Look, I'm not good at... Sorry.
Why?
I can sometimes push my way of dealing with things on other people.
Not like my way is healthy either.
She kind of chuckles. So, look at us, a pair of unhealthy people. Who, I just learned, is probably going to lose everyone they cared about to save 6 billion lives, but fuck it. That's what we do, right?
You can have evil parents. Do you want that?
No, you can keep your parents. In fact, I think they're talking about killing them right now. Would you like to go join?
Oh, yes.
And so, yeah, about 30 seconds later, you see Anna and Indigo come back in the room.
Kid looks over at Cyber. I thought you said this building was empty. Why is there a dog in here?
Cyber goes, I don't know. He looks
His
a little
name is Fred. Leave him alone.
He looks a little confused. He's like, I swear I checked this place.
That might have been my bad.
I left the door open. I'm sorry.
I saw him and I was just like, he should come in out of the cold. It's probably warmer outside, but I mean, whatever.
Zevran's climate control.
It's freezing out there. A whopping 65 degrees. He could catch a cold.
So we'll kind of pick up a little bit. Anna, we'll say, like, as that's when kids thoughtfully holding a spike of something, saying, if we're going to be attacking, I need to go get someone.
Okay.
All right. Kid looks over at I keep wanting to call him Adonis, but I know that's not right.
Adonis.
Adelum, yes.
I know, I kind of want to as well.
Adonis. No, he's too much of a dick for that. Well, actually, but yeah, they would look over at him and go, "You're not allowed to come with. And when we get back, you have to play nice."
He'll raise an eyebrow. Do you honestly think I'm going to care about anything you say?
Kid narrows their eyes and then looks over at Isaac. And Theta's there with us, right?
Yep.
They look over at Theta and Isaac and says, "You control your dad, and make sure he doesn't pull anything stupid, or I will kill him.
Theda will kind of roll her eyes and she'll say, Dad, someone has to watch the building and make sure they don't all leave, right? Adelum just kind of looks at his daughter and then goes, Isaac,
Yeah?
tell me about this girl you're seeing.
Oh my god.
Well, what do you want to know about her?
What's she like?
She's great. She's an engineer, probably one of the best out there. How long have you been here? In this time?
Are you referring to this particular trip?
In Zevran.
I was trained in Zevran.
No, are you familiar with? And he's going to start listing off movies.
I don't have time for such things.
Isaac will take off his holo computer and toss it to him. There's a few of her movies if you want to watch them on there.
Why would I care what movies she watches?
She's in them, you dolt.
And he takes a second, and then he kind of grasps what you're saying, and he goes, oh, great.
What?
My son's gonna marry an actress. And he
I
just
mean-
kind of stands up. Fine. Go watch the building.
Before you go, do you have a backup? A
Have a
pistol,
backup gun? Oh.
I'm asking about a backup gun.
I never needed one. Why?
Isaac's gonna rifle around in his backpack and offer out a Colt, 1911.
As you rifle in your backpack, he kind of peers over and just goes, Jesus, son.
I like
Looking to-
pistols.
Yeah, I can see that. Are you opening up a shop somewhere I didn't hear about?
No, I need all 12. Okay? Oh my god, Pip. I could barely hear you, but I know it was hilarious.
It's your fault, Dad. Alright, and he'll take it and kind of judge the weight of it.
It's one of Isaac's mom's old guns.
Oof.
Oh.
Yes.
Then
He's gonna hand
he
out
would-
some extra ammo.
Yeah, he would look at it for a while and he'd go, I didn't keep anything of hers.
I know, Grandpa did. So why don't you keep that with you?
Yeah. Thanks.
No problem.
And with that, he walks out of the room.
The crying room is over there? Not set in canon?
Right.
This broke a man's heart, not a little girl's heart.
She called me little again.
So if you guys could avoid killing Adelum.
Yeah.
So he leaves, and Cyberstick's because obviously things are really awkward and tension-filled, and Cyberstick's claps. Well, so what's the plan exactly? Rubs his hands together.
We're going to Paladin.
Yeah.
Well,
we're
I'm going to Paladin.
No, we all are. Don't do that. We all are.
Okay, we're going to Paladin. Kansas just throws up their arms.
Well, someone has to drive.
Sure as hell is not going to be you. At least not a car.
They're not
I was
going in
referring to the ship, and I go
Oh,
back.
that's stupid.
Oh, driving and piloting is two separate things. Don't even get me started.
So I used the wrong verb. Whatever.
Oh my god. Cyber 6 and Indigo weren't with us for Paladin, right?
I don't believe they were, no.
I don't believe they were
No,
either.
we were alone.
Okay. Well, hopefully there won't be any more demons. And that is
Yeah.
said in character.
Huh.
Um,
Cyber 6 says, yeah, let's hope.
yeah. Theta, do you want to come with us, or do you want to stick around? Here.
She kind of like looks back and forth. I think I'd rather go with you.
Okay.
Though, this is going to sound a little crazy.
Hmm?
I kind of like Cyber 6's idea. Not, of
Of?
course, of, trying to reason with that asshole. But it might be interesting to try and goad him into some form of meeting. If for no other reason than to determine if Vector's actually there and who's there with him. Say you're willing to talk. See if he'll bite.
How did he get in touch with Theta again?
Who?
Vector. There wasn't any correspondence. It was just like a one-time, here's a location, show up.
He, and she'll be happy to tell you that, he met him in a bar. And one of the things that impressed your dad was that Vector found you at all, or found him at all.
But he didn't give any way to get back in touch with them.
No.
Of course. That would be too easy. Okay.
Too unlike Vector.
Except we have my house still, in theory. If they're not keeping an eye on it, I'll be surprised. Could use it as bait somehow.
True. But
Let's
do we
get
want to do that
Hellhound
before?
first.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if we want to do that after Hellhound.
Oh, after. Let's get our big guns here and now.
Yeah.
And Tessa goes, who's Hellhound?
Our brother! Stepbrother. Let's put it that way.
Okay, now I'm really interested. I'm gumming.
I mean,
Oh, that's
it's
right. She
really...
was stuck on the ship, wasn't she? Or no, was
Who?
she stuck on Zevran when we went to Palladium?
Regardless, she wasn't with us.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And I was just going to look at her and go, it's really muggy, and there's a lot of insects. It's not a nice environment.
Oh,
It's
gee
really
whiz.
gross.
So much worse than having gang members shoot at you for 2 days in an abandoned complex.
There
Well,
were
we're used to
demons.
that shit.
Just
She
make sure
she doesn't have a response.
to make sure
It's
you
just
know.
kind of like, shit, you're right.
To make sure you know, there were demons to bring silver and iron and wood and shit. Okay, demons.
Yeah, but there's also insects. They bite.
Can any of you drive a vehicle? Cause I can't.
Anna raises her hand.
No,
Lucas
you
raises a
can't.
hand.
No, you can't.
Kid lowers both of their arms.
I'm going to kick you, and I will cry about it after because I know what you do to me. Any of you?
Lucas raises a hand.
Oh my god.
Indigo-
Kid looks so... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh. Hang on 1 second.
You saw...
Yeah.
So finally going back to Palladium. This is gonna be fun. Or not Palladium,
Paladin swap.
Paladin.
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 Yeah, Paladin, covered with
I
butter.
think I made that joke before.
Yeah, probably.
I was about to make a joke that in my head was innocent, and then I realized, no, it isn't.
Mm.
Oh no.
So, this is fun.
Yeah. So I think
Mm-hmm.
Hellhound and then back here, and after maybe goad him into a meeting.
Sounds like a plan.
I also wonder if we can somehow go out Sam first to see if we can somehow turn him to our side or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how well that will work. That's kind of a 50-50 situation.
It would be
I
really
mean-
fucking cool to be able to just go, hey, you know, that thing that you used all your money on? Hey, he's on our side now.
I don't think he used all his money.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. My puppy apparently ate, like, I don't know, some sort of chicken bone or something. Anyway, a bone that could be bad for him. So found it in the front yard, I think. So
Okay.
sorry about that. I'm back.
Is he gonna be okay? Do you need him to...
I mean, he doesn't look like he has any issues, but it's something to be worried about, certainly.
Okay.
But there's nothing we can do now. It's just hope he poops it out. So, what did I miss?
Not much.
Photo bombs, apparently. Sorry about that, guys. So
I'm sorry, I'm just picturing that being Lucas with a bunch of balloons behind hearts.
Jesus.
Okay, so, you know, Isaac and Hart's wedding, it's the altar, and Lucas just roots.
Oh my god, it's perfect.
Lucas would be the priest. He would be the priest dressed in a clown costume.
Oh, Lucas would be able to marry people. He would, for some reason, have that license for no reason.
Yeah.
we can kind of pull back into a narrative stance. You're not in a dangerous environment at the moment. So you wouldn't have any issues getting back to the ship. So we can pull back into a bit of a narrative format. Obviously, you guys want to go to Paladin to get Hellhound. Is there anything else that you guys want to prepare for or go to or anything of that nature? I mean, we're not going to narrative getting Hellhound. Obviously, I have to go through that. But I mean, is that the only game plan right now? Is there anything we'll need to discuss?
I don't think we thought past getting Hellhound.
Nope,
That's fair enough.
not at all.
I will say, as you guys go back to the ship, Indigo will. We'll say you guys are getting off the taxi. This one had the insulting. I believe that was Bob, insulting Bob.
Yeah.
So, and when you get off the taxi, she goes, I can't go with you to Paladin, but I'll be back here when you get back.
Okay.
I need to go find Levine.
Okay. Let us know what you can dig up.
She
Sorry,
nods.
who said this?
Indigo.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
You might be able to recruit Sarah to help you.
Right. And Cyber 6 kind of goes up and he goes, you might not like what you find. And he goes, doesn't matter. I need to know. I'll be back when you get back, I promise. One way or the other.
Okay.
And she kind of walks off towards the Corsair Academy. Cyber 6 kind of pushes his sombrero back, scratches his head. Oh, that's awkward.
Anything gone well in the last week? 2 weeks? I don't even know what time span to give.
I mean, I had a very pleasant time. Though what I call fun, most people don't consider fun. But I'll be honest with you, killing a bunch of gangsters in the street was a fun Saturday evening for me.
Fair enough. Hannah says, try not to think about how many of those people she might have actually known.
And with that, Cyber 6 goes onto the ship.
Okay. So we're gonna head off to get Hellhound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. So, you guys get on the ship and head off to Paladin, which is, I was going to say local. I don't think that word exists in space. But it's certainly not something you have to jump through the gate for. It's, I believe, a 2-day journey from Zevran. It's a fairly close planet. So actually, no, I think it was even less than that. I think it was a couple of hours, because I remember you guys last time you were there, you were like, theoretically we could make it to Zevran and back within a certain amount of time. So I think it's only like a 6-hour trip from Zevran. It's a very close planet, relatively speaking.
You can't swim there.
You cannot swim there. Walking would be an exercise for sure. A challenge of endurance and breathing in vacuum. But you can make it there on the ship. Easy peasy. You guys get back to Paladin. And your navigation, yeah, you had the second chance when you went to Paladin. Your navigation charts would remember what you know about Paladin. And things are a little different this time when you come. You fly over the platform. It's called Platform 48, which is where you were last time when you were trying to get all the people out of that area because they were being constantly attacked by those beasts, whatever they were. You fly over that and you see that from the ship, not only are there life signs down there again, but the foliage around it the foliage around it had been cleared for quite a while for quite a ways to make a kill zone, but the land around it is actually starting to be developed and leveled out. And there's enough room for you to land the ship there. Probably a few hundred meters away from Platform 48, which is the only real source of civilization, if you want to call it that, within a good 400 miles. Well, maybe 200 miles. Anyway, the closest other platform was a full night's journey driving at full speed. So it's pretty isolated out there.
Okay.
But Anna, you'd have no trouble setting the ship down.
Neat.
And you guys get out, and give me a second here as I move you all to a map. You'll find yourselves at the bottom.
I remember this.
Tessa and Theta are definitely coming along. I think Cathor and Hart are... Oh, I should actually point out, because you were on the ship for several hours, they are currently developing... they're still doing the formulas, the intense mathematics it would take to ensure that two things hit each other when hurled at high speeds at very far distances. Because you have to get those calculations perfect, or you'll miss.
Yeah.
But so that's where they are now. Cathor did run the numbers of. Well, actually, I'll say this before you guys leave the ship. He'll say, I ran some numbers. The chances of randomly finding another orb like this one are, well, it's 10 to the 305th power. But you guys, I believe, have some ideas as to where you found the first one, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's possible to acquire an alternate version of it by finding an alternate reality that is incredibly similar to this one and take it from where you know it should be. Where did you find the orb?
It was in the vault of a mining conglomerate.
And
Well,
had to...
Originally, didn't you get it from what's his face?
originally it was stolen from Thraxis
Yeah.
Yeah,
by Samson.
Samson. It was stolen by Thraxis. Ah,
No, it was
right.
stolen from Thraxis.
Yeah, stolen from Thraxis because... Right, yeah. Sorry, Isaac would say that. And eventually it wound up in the hands of a mining conglomerate. And we stole it back.
Right. Well, wherever you find it, you'd have to find it in a place or a time where you had not yet affected it. That sounds confusing. Let me try and rephrase that. The second your events cause the orb to alter, then it's going to be almost impossible to find. But perhaps an alternate reality before or while this Thrax held it? So I'm unfamiliar with this man or woman. I'm sorry.
It's a man, and he's a dick.
You do tend to meet a lot of those.
Is this... sorry, is this conversation happening on the way to...
While you're still on the
planet?
ship. Like I will say you've landed, but you're getting ready to get off.
Gotcha.
And Catherine will say, I suppose I could get with Sarah and see what we can find out there, though that would mean when we get back to Zevran, we'd have to make a trip to go see... I'm sorry, not this isn't Catherine speaking, this is Cyber 6. I'm getting all my names wrong. So many NPC. Cyber 6 would say it would mean a trip to the Avida.
Avida?
The Avida.
Don't you mean
the
Avius?
Avius, maybe.
Yeah.
And he would say a trip to the Avius, as they're the only ones that can sense alternate timelines. But it wouldn't be impossible.
Yeah. Could be worth a look in. That would solve a lot of our problems.
We think. We have no way of knowing any of this would work.
It's true, but we gotta try.
I agree. Don't take my commitment for a lack of... I am as concerned as Indigo, but I don't think we cybers are exactly adept at showing those kind of things.
That's fair.
Shall we go get your friend then?
Yeah.
Kid kind of scrunches their face and goes, "Yep, let's go." And starts heading out the door, I guess.
Let's go.
All right.
So over here.
Oh, give me a second. I have to get the new token of Anna.
Yeah.
Oh God, Anna.
Big.
Anna be huge.
It is I. The giant.
It is I, Anna.
Call me little again.
Let me see here. And I should probably also pull out Tessa. Whoa. Tessa's not as big.
I mean,
Still
she
my
is the little
sister.
sister.
Yeah. And we had a picture of Theta, but I did not make a token of her, so we'll pull one out if it's necessary.
Damn it, Squee.
Well,
I gave that to you with purpose and intent.
I know. I like to subvert expectations.
Clear.
Yeah, so you guys get off the ship and back to a familiar, hot, muggy planet.
Can I have the ability to move my token?
I mean, since you asked so nicely,
Please.
absolutely. There you go.
Yay.
And now I shall take it back. No.
Oh.
So, yeah, you guys are there. You see again as you approach platform 48, people have come back. Quite a few more people actually than were here last time. And you see that the truck that was used as an impromptu gate, as these platforms were not designed to be defensive platforms; they were designed for mining. But obviously, this platform had made alterations once the attacks had started, and these alterations are still there, but the gate lays open. And Kid, as you approach, you see Hellhound laying down, curled up quite comfortably in front of the main tent. Looks like he's snoozing.
How is it looking? Does it look a bit more repaired than the last time we were here?
The platform?
Yeah,
Yeah,
better off.
It's still not what you'd call great defensive structures. But yes, they are. Some of the damage you saw before was repaired. It's only been about a month or two. But yes, you do certainly see a lot of damage repaired.
God, it feels like years.
I know, right?
Okay. As they're heading forward, Kid would kind of take a breath to say something and then pause, and then after a moment say, "Hey." Just pause
Smooth.
awkwardly.
Hellhound kind of opens one eye, looks up lazily, opens another eye. Kid. Oh, I'm way ahead of you, Barton. Thank you, though.
Oh, well, shit.
Well, but mine was green. Would you prefer blue?
I do not care.
All right. Mine's got a cool border shadows, so.
Real quick before they step onto the platform, Theta's with us, right?
Yes.
They're going to turn to her and say, "He's fine. Don't do anything." And then they're going to turn... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, you see Theta standing there with her hand on her sword, but it is undrawn. Just kind of very nervous at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then she looks at Kid and she goes, "Right. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I will trust you."
See, there
Kid
you go.
will
You're
nod.
being nice to my friends. Good job.
She gives Isaac the stink eye.
You're not helping.
I know.
But Kid turns over to Tessa and says, "That is Hellhound." And then they step onto the platform, and God, he's forgot how fucking big he is.
Yeah, Hellhound is bigger than a horse. He is huge. He is actually closer to the size of a rhinoceros. And again, it's been such a long time. Hellhound has the same color and fur as Kid, almost the same markings. his instead of having like the pink horns that curl around Kid's head, his horns are more like spines that cover his head back, almost like a hedgehog. And he walks on four massive legs, and he is huge. And he gets up and kind of sits down and yawns. And he says, "I'll be honest with you, kid. I'm not sure I expected to ever see you again."
Well, you asked me to let you know if... Holy shit, Theta!
Theta attacks! No, sorry.
I'm big too now! But yeah, Kid kind of shuffles and says, you said that you wanted me to let you know if I ever found her, and I did. And we're going to go kill her. Also, these are our... They pause and kind of frown a little bit as they look over at Tessa and Anna, and holds out a hand in like a presenting way and goes, "Sisters."
Hellhound walks up to Anna, like uncomfortably close, and begins to sniff you. And he says, "You do not smell like us."
Not in a literal fit.
I genetically came out of her.
That.
Oh. She did not. She gave birth to you.
Yes.
I have heard of this. It is...
It's the
odd.
typical human way. You know what? Yes, it is odd.
I do not know. I am not good at interactions with others, but I am sorry.
Wait, so how's a rhino's again? I can't remember.
Oh, he is sitting on his haunches, and his head's brushing about 10 feet.
Damn it. So I was just gonna. He might be too tall even for Anna. Cause my initial idea was just her putting a hand on his shoulder and being like, "Me too."
You could do it. He'd be reaching up kind of high, but you could do it.
Just like go for mid-leg.
just sympathetic pat. It's like, me too.
So, you have found Mother?
I mean, we haven't really seen her. Well, I haven't seen her, but she... Well, no, you didn't see her, did you, Tessa?
No. I saw Father. There's a father?
Not ours. Or at least, I don't think so. Never mind. It's just...
Oh, I don't want to think of that.
This is a lot of information.
Just, we found her, we're going to, I guess, attack the building, and you should be with us. Because we need everyone that we can get. Also, Slim's dead.
Slim. Dead.
Yes.
You?
Yes. He was really obnoxious.
I was not fond of him. He used to make fun of my size. He called me dim-witted.
Yeah, well, he's dead, so...
I do not have strong feelings about this one way or the other, but I suppose it's good?
I certainly hope so. Although I don't know where anyone else is, or even if they're still alive.
Hellhound will look at Anna. Kid, have they controlled their instincts? Have they lashed out upon you or hurt you?
Kid kind of God damn it, I said. Kid kind of frowns and glances over at Anna and Tessa and goes, them?
Hellhound ignores Kid and continues to look at Anna.
Are you asking if kids ever hurt me?
We are weapons. And while
So am I, mate.
He'll raise an eyebrow and he'll say, yes, but you were born. You were not made with the purpose to kill. I warned, Kid, that to be with others is to risk hurting them. I've struggled against these instincts myself. I'm curious to know how well they've done. Like, completely ignoring you, Kid.
They've done well enough, in my opinion.
That is good to hear. And then he'll turn to Kid. It is far more difficult than I imagined sometimes.
Damn it.
Kid does a very poor job of hiding how they feel.
Pretty much.
And he says, there are days. I spend my time helping these people. I guess you could say that they have grown fond of me. And I of them. But there are days I find myself struggling not to lash out, not to kill. It is her fault.
I know.
And with that, he stands up on all four legs. I would see her ended.
Good, because that's the plan.
And he nods. And about this time, I mean, obviously people have started to gather. There's visitors. This is not a common thing. The rest of you would certainly have recognized this. No one's dare going to interrupt Hellhound and another that looks kind of like him but much smaller. So they're all just kind of gathered around you. And
I mean, are any of these people the ones that we helped previously, or are these all new people?
Many of them.
Okay.
Though, of course, a lot of them didn't survive last time.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything, but...
So there's obviously some new faces. And you do hear from the crowd, like a smallish voice. But you can't go. Big Fur, you can't go.
Oh my god, is there an actual child on this fucking platform?
I mean, this is a place where families stay as they work the mines. So yeah, there would be some.
God damn it. Look, people, fuck. I mean, I guess.
A chorus arises as the people go, like a plethora of voices like, who will protect us? And you can't go, Big Fur. And Big Fur, I thought we were going to go hunting tomorrow. And there's just a lot of voices.
Over this din of just people, Kid looks over at Hellhound and goes, Big Fur.
My name frightened the little ones.
looks just totally unimpressed. Just like, all right. Kid glances out at the people and shuffles a little bit. Are they still talking? Just like
yeah,
oh,
there's actually a fair amount of protesting, but it's not like the angry protesting. It's like, no, don't go.
After a bit, Kid looks visibly uncomfortable and says, "He's coming back. Just be patient."
And with that, Hellhound would look around and he would say, "Yes, I would like to return. But I must go kill my mother." And with that, he just starts walking back towards the ship. And like,
oh my god.
The murmurs kind of die down and into like a... What do you say?
Well, that'll be all for the Killing Your Mother Club. Bye.
Everyone's just like, I'm sorry, did he say...
It's like, what? He's good, but he's going to be back. He's going to wait.
No,
wait, what?
No, he's going to kill He's going to kill who?
What?
He has a mother?
He's gone now.
He must have said another. Yeah, that's what it
kill
was.
Kill another. Right. Another beast is probably what he meant. Yeah definitely.
Oh my god. Alright, before anyone can press any questions, Kid is going to about face and leave.
Alright. Anything anyone want to do while they're here?
So, yeah, Theta.
Play in the mud.
I mean, it's a lovely planet. It is a lovely planet.
What are you saying, Bird?
All right, Theta. That's Hellhound. He's gonna be with us for a while, and we're leaving. Bye. Goodbye.
Yeah, Theta starts like, I mean, she's had her hand on her hilt, been like drawn by like 2 inches, and then she just slams the rest of the 2 inches back in the sheath and just like walking past Tessa. She's like just mumbles like, "They're multiplying."
Does Kid hear that?
Of course Kid would hear that. Yeah, with your hearing.
Kid just whips around and goes, "We're not multiplying. He was here."
Yeah, actually he was here, and he kind of helped save these people. So, yeah.
Even I know this would be addition.
You beat me to
my
god! Christ, you say nothing for like half an hour, and then you come up with that shit. Jesus.
You got Kid, you would hear very quietly, very like pouty almost. 1 times 2 is 2.
1 plus 1 is also 2.
She seems very very sullen, but she's behaving herself.
Don't worry, there's alcohol on the ship.
I think I could use that.
Good. I will give you a pleasant tour of our alcohol collection.
We've got some fine vintages.
It's just under a bed.
Let me show you to my room. Flips up bed. Here's the collection of alcohol.
It's like a trail that leads straight to the bed.
Look, I don't make it every night.
Yeah, sometimes I don't make it to the bed. I need alcohol wherever I fall. It's convenient that way.
Just beer bottles are scattered across the sheets like rose petals.
Jesus.
I'm not having
security blanket.
I'm not having 1 glass. I'm having 18, and it's called tasting. It's class.
God damn it.
You got that from South Park.
I did.
Oh my god. Drink tolerance, nice.
So you guys are able
Jesus.
to get back on the ship. It's I mean, it's Hellhound's been keeping the area pretty safe after, Demon was killed.
Good.
Yeah.
The well, and you guys would know this as well. The monsters were attacking because the demon was driving them to try and get at the people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when the demon was killed, the the beasts, they're beasts, return to their normal ways, which is that of, I mean, they're dangerous. This is not a gentle planet, but they also don't just attack fucking platforms full of people and guns every day.
They're like goats.
Big, nasty ghosts. Well, and then there's the alligator, too. The giant alligators
Yeah.
that
But
you guys
mostly
saw
goats.
some of, but didn't have to fight.
Yeah.
Thank Christ.
Yeah, so you guys get back on the ship. Where to? He asks, positive of the answer.
Candyland.
I knew it. You guys make your way to Candyland.
Going
No,
off the rails
seriously.
today, boys.
Where are you guys headed?
Zebron.
Zevran?
All
Are we not going to Candyland?
No. Why would we?
Aw. What, we don't want to drag Dio into this?
No. Not right now. Fucking
My
Dio
God.
Jawbreaker.
Hellhound hasn't gotten a wish.
Vector, says Dio, standing on top of a wall, looking awesome.
Oh my god.
I reject my
Expression
humanity. Vector. Puts on stone mask.
And then Vector's just like, Dio! Because Vector obviously would know who that is somehow.
Yes,
I
Yes.
like that.
JoJo references?
yes,
Yes.
these are JoJo
Aw.
references.
The guy's name is Dio Jawbreaker. You didn't think this was a JoJo?
I avoid JoJo as much as possible.
Well,
Jesus.
you
Damn.
did a poor job on Candyland, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I went in ignorant and I left ignorant, so I don't know about that.
Well,
So you
we
guys
have
make
taken
your way.
your innocence.
You guys make your way back to Zebron. Again, I mean, the whole trip is made in like a day, there and back again.
We
Hobbit's
haven't
Tale.
slept
That's a fair point.
in like 24 hours.
If only you had like a ship with comfy beds.
We should go to bed.
Yeah, let's go to bed collectively.
Yeah. So
Hellhound's not going to be able to fit up in the upper rooms.
Hellhound
gonna
will
have
sleep
to
down with
stay.
Ryle.
Yeah. Ryle and Quicksilver.
Carry to my bed, teethy minion.
Jesus.
For a second, I thought you were talking to Hellhound, but then I remembered, no, you have to.
He has 30 of them.
God damn it.
30 fucking chattering teeth.
I love the idea of him just laying across a row of chattering teeth and they just jitter along the floor up to the
is that okay?
fucking
I
stairs.
imagine like he just stands on them in constant pose, like, fists on hips, looking up as he just moves across the floor.
I mean that too.
Why not both?
Yeah, he's laying down, hands on his hips, triumphant pose.
Yeah, maybe
Like, if
we
you were-
sleep
if
before
you
we
were-
fly back to Zevran.
If you were to somehow see him from bird's eye view. Sure. Do you guys want to take a long rest?
Yeah.
All right. You take a long rest with all the benefits that entails. I don't know if any of you were injured or damaged, but if you lost any hit dice, you get half of your full amount of hit dice back.
Woo.
Plus any ISP, PPE spells in this crazy amalgamation system that we have going here. Oh, actually, yeah, never mind. Some of you were hurt. Giant machine guns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, it was not the best time.
I would like my ISP back.
Giant machine guns. So you guys, yeah, we'll say you sleep on the ship, and you wake up the next morning. At some point, Cyber 6 would say, well, Indigo's not back yet, but to be fair, I don't think she knew how quick we would be.
To be fair, I don't think we realized how quick we'd be either.
Well, she didn't bother to ask where Paladin was. She seemed very... We're very close, you understand. This is not easy for her.
I'm not that surprised that's the case.
Secret marriage.
In any case, should we wait for her, or... I'm not exactly sure what even is the plan. What are we doing?
That's
Are
a
we-
damn good question.
It just looks up like, are we not storming the building?
No, I have an idea.
Not yet. Oh?
So they're very likely going to be watching your place, Anna, right?
If they're not, I'll be disappointed.
Okay. Well, here, why don't we get in touch with Finmuki and have a few of her street thugs tag your place. Say, Vector, call us, or Vector, meet us, etc. at this place. Like with spray paint. Because they're probably going to be watching.
Vector's a little bitch.
Vector is a little bitch.
That's my
Prove
house.
it. I mean, it's just paint. You can repaint it.
You know how much effort that is?
You could pay
Or you
somebody
can
to
just
repaint
leave
it.
it.
I already bring down the value of the neighborhood. Why should I do that anymore?
But it's
Wow.
the idea would be it wouldn't be you, it would be some random people. Because if they see specifically you or specifically one of us, they'll know that we're here.
Isn't the point that they're going to figure out that we're here regardless, since we're contacting them?
I guess, but the difference is like storming your house or not.
Yeah, if they're going to be storming the house, we don't want to be there.
Yeah, exactly. We'd rather set up a meeting for somewhere else.
Can't we just, like... I know they know where my cameras are set up in there. If they, like... Can we see if they hacked into them first and just, like, have one of the thugs leave a note on the table? Maybe make it kind of clear it's for them, instead of spray painting my house.
I mean, that works. If you want to do that, we can do that. It was just an idea.
I mean... If it doesn't get... Like, if I can return there one day...
Look,
that
I have
might
all
be
these
decent.
spray paint. And...
Well, we have a lot of extra rooms. I'm sure we could turn one of them into a spray paint room.
So, overall, I'm
Let me
getting
live
the
my life.
sense here. I'm getting a feeling here that you guys want Finmuki to leave a message for Vector via Anna's house.
Yes.
I think so, yes.
Got it. Graffiti Anna's house.
Anna doesn't want
Alright,
this.
hang on, beer.
Vector is poopy pants. Come at me, bro. What type of message are? It doesn't have to be. You don't have to. I don't need the exact details. But what kind of message are you leaving for him? What are you trying to do? Actually, so I guess I do need the details. I don't know.
Burn, do you know any idea? Or... We should probably get a burner phone first, actually.
Vector is a bitch. Call us at... Nah, I don't know.
Probably
Vector,
something along the
please
lines of...
call as soon as possible and number.
There are devices, and this is what Cyber 6 was suggesting too. There are what are called like hollow devices where you can almost like a Star Wars, where you can talk to each other through, they can see you as holograms, you can see them as holograms. You use so you can use one of those devices, and that way, like he was saying, you can take that call from almost anywhere, so you can make sure you're safe.
Yeah, like in a different dimension.
Well, no, they don't. Reception's not that great.
Fuck.
Reception, the T-Mobile hasn't quite stretched trans-dimensional.
But
You'd have to be somewhere on Zevran.
We have two fucking whatchamacallits, AEGs. Those won't help to boost the signal.
Oh, I'm sure if you know a mechanic that could jerry-rig it, you could probably do that.
Shit.
Actually, I hadn't considered those. Yes, so maybe you could do it from a different dimension. T-Mobile is trans-dimensional.
We switched over to Rogers.
Oh, nice. Much more stable network. All right. So you can get in contact with Finmuki. She would say, "Well, that's definitely something I can do with minimal danger." And she'll assure you that it gets done. And you guys basically spend a day waiting for, because this isn't something that she just stops by and does. She's got to be done carefully. Takes time. And plus you're waiting for Indigo, who will be back at some point? Question mark.
Yeah.
Sarah will come back to you guys at some point from looking very, very tired. She apparently has not slept at all. She's been pulling information. She will let you guys know that someone roll me a D100 actually.
I'll do it. Unless Piph, do you want to do it? Because you haven't done much.
There's one.
Okay,
get
it.
I'm sorry, I clicked it as you were saying it. We can take someone else if you want.
I gotta go with the first one rolled.
Yeah.
Piph was cheated.
I'm sorry.
However, Lowe was good in this case. So.
Oh, good.
Sarah says that she did not find enormous amounts of information about the cataclysm. It's not that she couldn't find it. It's not there. There's just not a lot of information. What the Corsairs do know for certain was that a man with no description, but they were sure it was a man, by the trace DNA that was actually left, which there is no record of now. Just simple records of the investigation. A man from one timeline touched the... All right, everyone, be adults here. Touched himself in this dimension. Somehow, way, shape, or form, causing the cataclysm that killed 6 billion people in an instant, made the planet unlivable and even difficult to visit. The radiation on that planet is so extensive that even anything short of magical protection is not enough to stop the radiation. And of course, magical protection doesn't last long enough to do a lot of studying. It's armor of Ith and doesn't make itself conducive to running experiments. So there hasn't been a lot of data done on what happened, other than it somehow tore the very fabric of space and time in doing almost irreparable damage. The 6 billion people were presumed dead simply because who could possibly live through that? This catastrophe was made famous all across the galaxy, and it was the catalyst that spurred the creation of the Commonwealth and the Corsairs. However, something she was able to find a bit more information about was Isaac's father. If you'd be interested in that.
I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
All right. I was like, okay, maybe they're not. All right then.
I'm sorry, I was coughing.
Oh, I see. Something very interesting of note, and Theta doesn't, react to this, but it looks like Adonis had better tabs kept on him
Adonis?
than he. I'm sorry, Allure.
Adela.
It's your fault. I know, but Allure said
You're
it
making
once,
me.
and now I can't.
Yeah, you're making me
We're
think of.
disconnected, so you're yelling at nothing.
Oh, right.
You're making me think of Disgaea though. As
Oh,
the
I mean,
Dark
she said it
Adonis.
once, and now I can't get out of my head.
Yeah.
What
Adela.
happened?
I kept saying Adonis.
Oh, sorry.
This
Yeah,
is your
I
fault.
disconnected for a sec. So I have no idea what you said.
Adela might have had better tabs kept on him than he realized.
Mhm.
The Corsairs, it would seem, and Sarah was not supposed to access this information, but someone rolled a 5, so Sarah hacked her way in. It would seem the Corsairs kept tabs on Adelim, but did not move in to capture him, simply because there are aspects of Corsair society that are difficult for Corsairs to deal with because they must maintain their reputation. And there are some people that are deemed a threat or dangerous that the Corsairs cannot move on simply because they haven't done anything yet. So when Adelim went rogue to go after the murderer of his wife, who also happened to be someone highly involved in questionable genetic experiments, the Corsairs kind of let him do his thing and kept tabs on him to ensure that he didn't do anything too out of the line. And what she pulled up of note is that it would seem that every 5 years, Adelim would make a trip to Earth. He'd be gone for about 3 to 4 days. He would set up an observation post on a small village in the middle of a desert, observe it, and then return. And he would do this about every 3 years or so.
Oh, Jesus, really? Aww. My heart.
Yes, she's there.
Shut up. Yeah, that's gonna hit Isaac in the feels a little bit.
Theta doesn't react to this at all, but she doesn't meet Isaac's eyes either.
So, you guys kept checking up on me?
Well, didn't you wonder how we recognized you?
I mean, yeah. I was curious.
Look, Dad's an asshole. There's no two ways about it. He's an asshole. But you're his son. And he'll never say this, but he is disappointed that you led the life you have. I think he wanted something better for you. Me, well, he needed my help, but you, I think he was trying to spare you from this kind of life.
I mean, you're gonna have to take that up with Gramps. Cause
Right.
I mean, I was perfectly fine with staying in that village until he ran me out of town.
Well, look, they say apples don't fall far from the tree. Dad's an asshole. Gramps? Well, you knew him better than I did.
Yeah, he used to fucking beat me.
Yeah. So, we have a very cheery family. From what I've been hearing, she kind of looks around. we're not alone.
Yeah.
Welcome to SS family problems.
Look. And she kind of turns to Tessa and Kid. I am still getting used to not wanting to kill you. But I'm willing to admit that maybe we were a little zealous in lumping you all together.
Well, I'm glad you don't want to kill my sister anymore. But I'm still on the table.
She kind of shrugs. I guess we'll see.
You said Tessa instead of Anna.
Yes, I did. There's so many NPCs. And I'm a terrible GM.
And you're so mean to the PCs.
She would turn to Anna and Kid and Tessa. And she would say that. And she'd say, look, we want the same thing. I'm convinced now that you're as much a victim as we are. Truce?
Anna would hold out her hand.
Theta would take it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect the same from Dad, if I were you. Oh, he won't kill you. Not if I have anything to say about it, but I don't know if he'd ever. You're a means to the end.
I'm used to that.
Oof.
And Tessa goes, I don't know. He kept us alive. He didn't have to. I mean, I can't imagine that I'm much of a means to any end. Theta kind of shrugs. Yeah. I don't know that man. I mean, I've spent my life with him, but who can say?
I don't know. Apparently I owe him one, whatever that means.
Yeah, he says that to everyone. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, but I'll definitely be the one you cash in on for some reason.
If there's one thing I know about Father, and don't get me wrong, he's a great man. A hard man to love, but a great man. Is that he's very confident of himself.
Well, someone has to be.
And with that, you would get a message from Finn Mookie that the message has been delivered, and a reply actually has been delivered to your home. Your home's become like Grand Central Station.
Ah.
Fucking Christ.
It has a date and a time. The date is tomorrow. The time is like 3 p.m, and a frequency.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. None of your people got hurt?
We gave him our number and he gave us his number. What?
Uh-huh.
What a power move.
I don't call you, you call me. Is that how negotiations start? So, you guys got the day free.
Boy, we sure do.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys want to do, or do you just want to skip ahead?
Don't know if this will turn into a roleplay or not, but it's just because I had an idea before the call came in for one more line of just like Anna to Theta going, do you want a drink on that truce?
Another, you mean? Absolutely. You guys have been drinking like the whole way here.
I have been flying. I haven't drank yet.
Isaac
act
will.
like they're mutually exclusive.
Isaac will lean in, and whisper to Theta, "Look, if you're trying to drink her on the table, just don't try."
He lost.
Yeah, I lost. I can purge alcohol from my body, and I lost.
She looks at Isaac and she looks back towards the loading bay where Hellhound and Ryle would be. She goes, I think I'm trying to drink myself under the table, actually.
I can help with that too.
She nods.
Never mind. I was thinking of mentioning Quicksilver, but nah, I won't.
Oh, please.
You wait on that
the
one. That's been
mighty,
enough.
fearful beast, Quicksilver.
Yeah. Shut up.
The scourge of children everywhere.
More like the scourge of children's books.
Quicksilver and Applepalooza. The deadly duo.
That's the name of his new stage play.
Going around murdering people, quoting Wishbone. Oh, man. Which he still watches, by the way.
Hell yeah.
So, you guys, you have the day free. We can move forward to the proposed meeting time if you choose.
I got a small interaction.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm going to try to find Cyber 6.
Okay, Cyber 6 would be on the... I should probably move you guys to the ship. Stay in at the moment. He would be on the ship, probably, in the shooting range. The laser gun range. However, Lucas, when you get in there, you realize that the laser gun range is set up with basically targets that are laser resistant so that you can shoot them, right?
Mhm.
Cyber 6 is shooting them with shotgun slugs and like blowing holes in them.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, he's gonna destroy my thing. That's my thing.
I
need it.
It's very effective.
God damn it. I thought that entire cool thing up. And he's gonna...
Yeah.
God
you
damn it.
did build a conventional shotgun range.
No, I didn't think that we would need one inside.
The ship? Yeah. Well, can't think of everything, I suppose. But Lucas, you would find him in there.
Hello.
And with that, Cyber 6 would turn to you, and as he unloads the shotgun. Hey, Lucas.
Unloads how? Like...
So his shotguns
physically,
are...
or did you shoot those?
Oh, no, physically. So his shotguns are double-barreled shotguns that actually... almost old school, that you break the barrel down and then it pops the shells out and you load 2 new shots in.
Right.
So he has like 6 of them on his body, so at different places.
This is probably old news to you or whatnot. So I'm just gonna have this as a form of a question. What is your relation with good old Admiral?
Admiral Hagen?
Hagen. Yes, that was his name.
And Cyber 6 would kind of think about it for a few minutes and holster the shotgun and lean against the, there's like a table that you stand at when you're shooting down the range. He'd kind of sit up against it and he'd say, well, I came from the Cyber Collective, right? Not on the best of terms when I left. When I first...
I'm familiar. I think I read up on it or something. Go ahead.
Cyber 6 gives you raises a mechanical eyebrow. And he goes, when I got here, everything was so different, so strange. I'd never met an organic or any of your civilizations. I didn't know how to interact with people. I was an oddity. Hagen found me. I guess you could say he took me in, taught me what I needed to know, never asked any questions. Oh, I eventually told him where I was from, but he never asked. It was because of him that I became a Corsair. It's because of him that I learned that I wasn't the only one that shared certain views. So I guess you could say my relationship with him would be that of I guess, a surrogate father?
I probably should mention that he wishes that you would write him a little bit more.
I see. Well, I've never really understood the purpose of sending people messages just to update you when nothing really much has happened. But your people do very much seem to like that. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't really get it either, but I think he worries. I think he likes you. I think in general, just sending him even a brief update, nothing, I think it would set his mind at ease, make his day a little bit better.
I suppose I have nothing to lose, and I owe him a great deal. Thank you, Lucas. I'll do that. As soon as I'm done here. Like, he finishes loading the shotgun, pops it up, blows off another target. I'm amazed at the dedication Isaac puts into this. He must have a remarkable amount of cleanup every time someone uses it.
Yeah, I never use it.
Scene. Cyber 6 just blowing off targets meant for lasers. I mean, hey, these are really cool, fancy targets. You guys splurge on these ranges. Any other scenes?
Not really.
Yeah, I know that is the room Theta chose for her own.
That's Theta's room, and each of those laser targets have a specific laser gun that's calibrated for it too, and there are shotguns there, but he chooses to use his own goddamn shotgun. He's gonna get kicked off the ship.
Oh no!
Fuck it. Gone.
Don't do
the rest
that.
of Cybers. I'm just kidding.
We had an entire arc saving you, but you destroyed my gun range.
Yeah. You crossed the line, bucko.
Alright, Isaac's just gonna check in on his dad. See how he's doing.
Alright, sure. I'm assuming you'd have a radio frequency so you could key the radio.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Just checking to make sure you're still okay.
I'm still okay.
Alright. How many of the movies have you watched?
It's a very long pause.
Do you want me to get you an autograph?
No, like what makes you...
Sorry, you cut out. What?
Oh, he says, what makes you think I'd watch the movies?
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. We're probably going to have a meeting with Vector.
Isaac,
so... What?
You don't know me that well, so let me explain this to you. I'm a warrior. Always have been. I have one purpose. If you think that I'm going to sit up here and study or investigate who you choose to spend your time with just to make sure they're good enough for you, you've got another thing coming. And the sooner you learn that, the better off you'll be.
Actually, that does sound exactly like you.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Let's see. Perception. Where is it? There it is. Fucking 4, of course.
All right.
I never get these.
I know. All right. Yep, that's all you hear. He goes, "Is there anything else?"
No, there's nothing. I just wanted to check up on you. We're probably gonna have a meeting with Vector in a bit.
I'll be there. Where's your ship?
Isaac will give them coordinates.
Yeah, you can tell him where it is. And then the radio disconnects.
Okay. The rest of the time, he's gonna spend with Hart.
Gotcha. Hart is, I'd say she'd be resting now. Like, okay, no. So Hart, you find in your room on the bed with an ice pack on her forehead.
What the hell? What happened?
She looks at you. Too much math.
Oh,
So
God.
much math.
It's fine. Relax.
And she'll sit up. So, how did it go? I mean, with your father.
I gave him a bunch of your movies to watch, and he refuses to watch them. Mm-hmm.
Well, he doesn't seem like the kind of person that would enjoy those kind of movies.
Also seems like a butt.
Are you okay? Like, I've always had a great relationship with my father, so I don't really know. I want to be the supportive girlfriend, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. He seems like a hard man to get along with.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I wasn't envisioning this. But at the same time, I also found out that he would, every few years check up on me. So, I don't even know what to think.
You mean back on Earth?
Yeah.
You see, like, she closes her mouth, and then, like, her lower lip starts to tremble. And she goes, "That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard."
I know, right? I don't
But
understand
then why
it.
does he act like that?
I don't know. He's acting like a butt. I'm gonna keep saying that because I can.
She'll nod. Isaac,
Hmm?
I heard what you guys are planning to do. You know I'm coming with you, right?
For what? To go and take out Mother?
And Vector. And whoever else, yes.
Okay. Are you sure you want to do that?
No, I don't want to do that. But I don't want you to go there without me.
Okay.
I don't want to be left behind.
That's fair. Just bring your power armor. Okay?
Oh, I'll be ready. Don't you worry about that.
Okay. If there's anything you want me to fix or change or anything, just let me know beforehand.
She, like, looks at you
Listen.
and, like, has that look of, like, really?
I have a very specific set of skills, and it's mostly got to do with armor and weapons, okay?
She pulls out from somewhere in her, like, suit a wrench. Oh, gee whiz. I wonder what this is. Is this doohickey used for fixing things? I
Stop
wouldn't
it.
know. Then she smiles. I'm fine, Isaac.
Okay. I can still
Then she
offer, though.
she throws the wrench to you.
Yeah. Catch it. I can still offer. Me.
We'll say that's a scene.
Yeah.
I just imagine, like, Hart going up to Isaac. If you ever need me to shoot something, you know.
Oh man, don't make me cough too hard.
All right, kid, you had a plus sign.
Kid?
Kid, you to be muted.
Fuck. Okay. So excuse me. First, I don't know if this is not necessarily a scene, but I love the idea of Gloop seeing Hellhound and immediately taking the shape of him, but adorable. Like, just giant puffball Hellhound, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, he totally would, like, without all the spine.
Mm-hmm. Instead of spines, it's just giant fluff mountains.
It wouldn't be too giant. He can't quite get that size, but certainly bigger than a human. Gloop has limitations to how big or small he can be,
really sorry.
but it's still pretty sizable. He's maybe a half the size of Hellhound. But yeah, Gloop certainly think like, okay, imagine Hellhound without the spines directly after a grooming session. Like, he's been washed, he's been brushed, he's got the really smooth, soft hair.
So, like, Mastiff fluff.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
And it's one of those bombarding moments where he does that, and Hellhound goes, "Oh my gosh, you're just like Kid. Oh my god, are you Kid's brother? That's amazing. You look great. How do I look? Do I look like you? Where'd you from? What can you do? Can you teleport too?" And like, Hellhound just takes it all, and he goes, "You are like the children back on platform 48." And then he just begins to answer them, like, very matter-of-factly. "Yes, I am related to Kid. No, I cannot teleport. My name is Hell." Like, basically just matter-of-factly, very patient, very answering all of Gloop's questions.
God. Kid's just off to the side, just anxiety, like, welling up in them, just being in proximity of, like, blathering questions, like, oh god, it's so much. There's so much.
Yep. It goes on for quite some time.
Alright, and also, Kid would be, going to see Theta if she's willing to see them, I guess.
Sure, she'd be in the Starluck Lounge, sitting on a couch, one leg propped up on the side, bottle of Anna's finest.
Whatever that might be.
Yeah, whatever that
might be.
Anna's
going to share her finest yet?
She hasn't earned that.
Anna's finest offerings.
There.
Still gonna be in here. Kid would kind of, I guess, hesitantly knock on, like, the frame of the doorway. Kind of, I guess, to give her a little warning that they're coming in.
All right. And Anna's in there too, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Kid would kind of hesitantly walk over and just stand in front of her, and they look like they've got something to say, but they don't really know how to put it into words.
As you're, like, walking over there, you see Theta, going. And when he was like 5, Isaac used to run around with, like, little sticks that look like guns, going, "Pew, pew, 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 I'm a sheriff."
I'm sorry, he doesn't do that now? Because I'm pretty sure he still does that.
She like guffaws at that, like the big throaty laugh.
I mean, it's with, real guns now, but...
Right.
Same energy.
And then
But
she'll like notice Kid, and she'll take a big swig and swing her leg down and sit up.
Kid just stands there for a while, and they really look like they're trying to just put words together in their head, and nothing's quite working out. And finally, they go, What do you know about who killed your mom?
Theta actually gets a more serious look on her face and leans back. Not a lot. I know that she was a scientist, married to her father, Ian. Performed a lot of experiments, obviously.
Kid shakes their head and says, "No, you said that it was one of us that killed them, right? Or her?
Yes.
Do you know what they looked like? How they attacked anything?"
I was very young, but they were big. Bigger than, what's his name, Hellhound?
Apparently he's big fluff now or something. And Kid just looks like slightly, just incredibly unimpressed at that, and then shakes their head and says, "Were they long like a snake?"
Like Ryle. Not as big, of course, but yes. I'm sorry, I remember only flashes. But I remember that it was... I remember that they squealed like they enjoyed it.
Kid fiddles with their hands a little bit and doesn't quite meet her eyes, and finally says, That's probably Naga.
Naga.
She's a favorite, I guess you could say. She didn't get caged up like the rest of us because she listened, and she was really good at her job.
I see. Did she have any weaknesses?
Kid lets out kind of a frustrated laugh and goes, "Not that I ever found."
You killed one of them, did you not?
Kid shakes their head and says, "Slim was weak. I mean, he was stronger than he was 500 years ago, I guess it is now. But
Theta will nod.
But he was never strong. He hid to win. Like, he's nothing compared to anyone else, especially her. She's dangerous, and I don't think you should go after her."
I don't doubt how dangerous she is. One. Father and I managed to kill one of... not of you, but of your kin. And we paid a heavy price. And she traces the massive scar running down her face.
Kid nods and says, I'm not saying she doesn't need to pay. She needs to die, just like Mother. But I don't think you... And Kid looks over at Anna, and honestly, probably most of you would just get hurt. I want you guys to try and leave her to me and Hellhound.
I'll make you a deal, Kid. That's the first time she's ever used your name.
Mm-hmm.
Father will probably be off in the distance somewhere. He never gets in close. And trust me, he's far more effective that way. Me, well... And she kind of points to the sword, still on her back, even lounging on the couch. You can't stop me, Kid. But when we attack, I go where you go. At the very least, we can take them on together. Deal?
Kid's very quiet as they watch her for a while, and after a moment, they finally nod and stay. Just be careful. She messes with your head.
Kid, I've always been curious. You're the one you call Mother. Is she strong?
Kid kind of frowns and says, I'm not really sure, I guess. I mean, it's not like I ever fought her. Although apparently she's changed herself, so I suppose the answer now is yes. If she's anything like us.
I've always wondered. All of your siblings, from everything I've ever learned, fear her greatly. I did not know if that was out of conditioning or, well, animals of instinct tend to fear those that they are lesser than.
Kid narrows their eyes a little bit at her and says she made sure we listened. Naga helped.
I see. Well then, you and I have a great deal to make them answer for, don't we?
They nod.
And you too, Anna. Are you sure you're okay with this? She is your mother, after all.
She gave birth to me and then left. I have essentially no memory of her.
Well, same could be said for Isaac and his father.
Isaac's more sentimental than I am.
She nods. Not gonna argue that. So many faces from Isaac.
Look, I think that one's a compliment. Look, my only interest in this is to take out my father. He's the one I actually want revenge against.
All right, then. I propose a toast. And I'm sure you already have a bottle.
Yeah.
She'll sit up and she'll say, one of the three of us be the one to kill her. I can live with that.
Kid?
Kid nods, although they look very deep in thought at this point.
She takes a chug, hands the bottle to Kid.
Kid takes it and then takes like a ginger sniff and kind of recoils and hands it back.
She goes, "What are you doing? It's an oath. You have to."
Kid just makes this face of just this sad, like, no, I have to, and looks over at Anna, like the eyes beg permission to say no.
Look, I know I usually drink the drinks given to you. This isn't a drink for enjoyment. This is a drink to seal a deal. You just need to have a little bit of drop in your mouth, that's it.
Atlanteans have had this tradition for thousands of years, Kid. It means much to us. Don't
And humans have
insult me.
bastardized it.
Kid wrinkles their nose and frowns at the bottle and then finally, like, in a very quick motion, downs like a tiny mouthful and then just starts...
as kid goes to take the small sip, Tessa puts her hand on the bottom and lifts it up.
Oh no!
And then falls back into the couch, laughing her ass off.
Oh, baby. Kid's just sputtering and coughing, just tears welling in their eyes. It's gross.
And she,
Yeah,
Tessa's just like on the couch laughing.
Theta.
You bought it. Oh, you should see yourself.
How much would you say is left in the bottle?
Oh, probably not a whole lot.
Well, whatever's left, Kid is going to toss the rest of the drink at Theta. Not with the bottle, just out of it.
Right. Like Theta does, like the helpless, like puts her hands up, still laughing. Just seems to amuse her greatly.
Kid gently chucks the bottle at the couch and puts a finger at her, just like, don't do that.
Yeah, that was
trying so hard to be serious.
She kind of like catches herself from the laughing, wipes away a tear, and she goes, "It's not funny the second time." I needed that.
Wasting my good drink.
Are there any non-alcoholic drinks in the Starluck Lounge?
There's tons of them.
Oh, thank God. Kid's gonna
Kid's
go
home.
Yeah, well, fair. Kid's gonna go grab a bottle of something that doesn't taste like battery acid, and they're going to chug that to try and stop coughing.
Sure.
No. Pineapple juice is gross.
Milk is milk. Chocolate milk. Okay, and scene. Anything else before we jump to the meeting? I figured we could end the session with that. Or actually we could end it here. I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you want to prepare before the meeting, or do you just want to do this? As in prepare what you might say or do.
I have no hard feelings.
Honestly, I think we should probably come up with some kind of battle plan. Even if it's like a vague outline, because otherwise we're gonna go in there and be like, fuck, what are we doing?
It's a fair point. We could stop the session here. Give you guys a week to kind of strategize what you want to do in this. If you want to say or convince people, or obviously you're kind of set on murder and mayhem. So what you're hoping to get out of this exactly? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll stop the session here. Thanks everyone for coming. Next session we have diplomatic relations.
Yeah.
That's definitely what we're calling it. Mm-hmm.
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 It's time to see the players on the board. So
Yeah.
everyone, until next week, take care. Love you all, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Yeah. We're streaming on Thursdays from now on.
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
Woo.
and I'll probably tweet about that later on. But we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Ta-ta, everyone.
Bye.